We want to take you now live back to Clackamas County, the Sheriff's Office in Clackamas, Oregon. Officials are updating yesterday's shooting at a mall outside Portland, and we could learn more about the shooter. So let's listen in now. Clackamas County Sheriff Craig Roberts is speaking.
He's born March 16, 1990. Based on all the evidence that we've gathered so far, it appears that he did die of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We're also prepared to release additional information about the suspect. During this attack, he was armed with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. The rifle was stolen yesterday from a person known to the suspect. At the time of the attack, he was wearing a load-bearing vest, not a bulletproof vest that was earlier reported by some outlets. He was also wearing a hockey-style face mask, and we've not yet been able to establish how many shots were fired during the attack, although we believe he was carrying several fully loaded magazines. At this time, we do not understand the motive of this attack, except to say that there's no apparent relationship between the suspect and his victims. After we identified the suspect, we executed a search warrant at his home, which is located at 7324 Southeast 84th Avenue in Portland. We also conducted a search warrant of his vehicle, which was a 1996 Volkswagen Jetta found at the Clackamas Town Center parking lot. Now, to protect the integrity of the investigation, we're not going to release the results of this search warrant at this particular time. Next, I want to describe to you how this event unfolded. At 3:29 p.m., we received multiple 911 calls reporting that we had an active shooter at the mall. Our first unit arrived 1 minute later at 3:30 p.m. Now, once on scene, officers initiate an active shooter protocol. And that's a technique that's developed to deal with precisely this type of threat. Law enforcement has learned from past tragedies throughout this country that we can't wait for SWAT teams, and teams need to deploy immediately. So we train and equipped each of our individual officers to form up in teams as they arrive and move immediately into engaging the threat wherever it might be.
All right, we're listening to the Clackamas Sheriff's Office updating us on the mall shooting that happened yesterday in Clackamas. They've identified the suspected shooter as Tyler Roberts, born in 1990, so he's in his early 20s. He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They say he was carrying an AR-15 semi-automatic weapon that was stolen from somebody that Roberts apparently knew. He was not wearing a bulletproof vest, but a load-bearing vest, and also wearing a hockey-style face mask, and he had several magazines, fully loaded magazines, evidently in that load-bearing vest. We want to let you know that a couple of people were killed in that shooting. A 64-year-old woman and a 54-year-old man killed yesterday. They have not found any connection so far with the gunman and these two victims, but they have searched his home and his vehicle, although they are not discussing what they found as a result of those searches. We'll keep an eye on this story for you. Also in the